Hello, welcome to Lil's Vintage World. This video is a book review of Mama by Diana Tutton. This book was very kindly sent to me from the publisher, which of course is the British Library, as this is one of the British Library women writers books. Now, this is a new book in this series, along with Tension by E.M. Delafield. Now, I was approached by the British Library and I was asked if I would like to be part of their blog tour to celebrate the release of both of these novels coming out in the series. And of course I said yes, because you know how much I love this amazing group of books. I love them so much. I found some amazing authors and some amazing books that I just completely adore. So of course I said yes. There is a blog tour that is happening to celebrate the release of both of these novels that I will leave links for in the description below, so you can go and check out, and I can't wait to read what people have been making of these books. But for now, let's talk about what I thought of Mama. So Mama is a book from the 1950s, 1956 to be precise, and it has three main characters. First of all, we have Joanna. Joanna is a widow. She's been widowed for about 20 years and she is 41 years old. Then we have her daughter Elizabeth, known to her mother as Libby, known to others as Liz, although her mother doesn't like her being called Liz, she much prefers Libby. Libby is 20 years old, and then we have Libby's husband, Stephen. Stephen is 35 years old and Stephen is a soldier. Now, at the start of this novel, we meet Joanna and then we hear of a letter that Libby has sent her mother to say, "Hello mother, blah 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 blah, I have got engaged." I hope you don't mind. Libby leaves out the bit that Stephen is a soldier because she thinks her mum will disapprove because she's not too keen on soldiers, and so she explains to her mother, "I've got engaged to this guy. That's it." And of course wedding takes place, etc, etc, but of course they need a place in which to live. Now, being a soldier, of course you can be posted all around the world, and Stephen finds out that actually he's not going to be posted abroad for a year, but he has got a position in England in the town in which Joanna lives. And so Joanna goes on this hunt to find a suitable home for the couple. And she doesn't come across anything, there's nothing suitable there, and so they have the idea that actually three of them will all live together in Joanna's house with separate living rooms and of course separate bedrooms and dressing rooms, etc. And it's a bit awkward at first as they all kind of get to know each other properly, and Libby feels a little like piggy in the middle. But eventually they do all kind of bond in a way, and they all bond over the crossword puzzle. They all do that together, which is quite nice. But Joanna and Stephen, being of a similar generation, they both have similar interests, including poetry. They both have a love for poetry and they bond over that, as well as a couple other things as well. And Joanna starts to have feelings for Stephen in a way that a mother-in-law shouldn't have for a son-in-law. And that is all I will say. So what did I make of the novel? Well, in one word, amazing. I thought this book was incredible. I absolutely adored it. The writing was so easy to read. It was so effortless. It took me about 3 pages to read that I was going to give this a 5-star, that this was going to be one of my favourite books, that this was going to be a favourite of mine from this series. I just thought it was absolutely fantastic. The writing is funny and charming and witty, and it's just wonderful. It was so easy to read, and as soon as you read one sentence, that's it, you're into the novel. It's just wonderful. This book for me felt like it took me back in time. It took me back to the 1950s, really experiencing what a woman's life of certainly these women's social status was like, as well as slightly lesser as well. I mean, both Libby and Joanna, neither of them work, neither of them need to work. They can do volunteering for the local village and things like that, but they don't need to work. But they do think of things like domestic servants and servants that they do have and the help and things like that. That's things that they're concerned about. They're concerned about how they're going to fill their day and their wardrobe. They're concerned about that. And the little mundane things I really loved, because I love social history and I just adored it. I just loved being transported back in time to the 1950s of what a woman of this social standing, what her life would have been like, and I felt like I really got to know that in this novel. The little mundane things really made this book for me. There's this bit in here which I loved, and it was Libby was really annoyed because Stephen couldn't make it home for lunch as he usually would, and Libby went to town on this day. She did a joint of meat, she did potatoes, she did vegetables, she even made a fruit pie for afterwards, and she talked to her mum. She's like, well, it's useless, this meal for just us two women, and it's like because women eat slightly different to men, and at this period, and it was just, oh, I just adored it. It was just so easy to read, and just, oh, I was just transformed, and I was so immersed in the book. It was lovely. Now, because I loved it so much, I want to share with you a few little bits that I loved about it. So starting off, I thought I'd share with you a snippet of the humour in this book. So we're at the early part of the book right now, and Joanna has gone to meet her daughter Libby, who's just come back home. And however, Joanna has been in the garden wrestling with some nettles, and we go on from there. And they wouldn't wait, of course, so you donned your gloves. That's Libby. And ripped them up. Great fun it was. Hence the trousers. Yes, sorry, darling. Anyway, no one knows me in Tordich yet. Libby thought they'd soon know her by her trousers at this rate. Because Libby likes everything to be just so, and Joanna is a bit more of a free spirit. So that's a tiny snippet of the humour. And I also wanted to share with you a little snippet of, there's so much gardening references in here. As someone who loves the garden, it was lovely to read. I just wish it was better weather so that I could have read it myself in my garden. I think that would have been a wonderful reading experience. But sadly, the British weather, no thank you. It wasn't playing ball. So I just want to read you this little snippet of gardening. But as I said, the humour in the novel is all throughout, and so is the wonderful outdoorsy feel. It's all throughout too. So here we go. In the vegetable garden, improbably enough, she was found a mass of iris plants, nettle-crowded, strangled with bindweed, and persistently managing to flower. Someone must have collected them with love, for there were many varieties, some of them strange to Joanna. Today, hovering over a clump of nettles like an arrested butterfly, she found one tall white one, delicately marked with gold. As she tugged with her gloved hand at the nettles, ripping up the roots and scattering small balls of earth like rain on the surrounding leaves, a part of her mind was with Elizabeth, and part admiringly with the white iris. Oh, I just love it. Oh, there's humour throughout, there's vegetables throughout, there's plants throughout. It's just wonderful. We go through different seasons as well through this book, and it's just so immersive. I have to say, I do also really enjoy reading the afterword in these books. They are written by Simon Thomas, who is the series consultant for these novels, and he's so learned in what these books are trying to show and trying to represent, and I always find them really fascinating to get his kind of more academic take on the novels. So yes, utterly adored it. I don't think you would be far wrong in trying to guess what star rating I gave it. Yes, that's right, I gave it 5. I absolutely adored it and highly recommend it. It's so wonderful, and for me this is next to my other favourite of the British Library Women Writers series, which is My Husband Simon by Molly Panda Downs. Both of those got 5 stars from me. Really love them, and amazing books. So yes, I hope you've enjoyed this review. Chat to me all things part of this series and this book, and just other women writers that you think are amazing and certainly should not be forgotten. I'm going to go and find some more of Diana Tutton's work. She only wrote 3 novels, but I'm definitely going to go and try and check them out. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care, and I shall see you soon for the next one. Bye for now.